Hey there, ho there, Hanzo here at the Hanzo Honey House, going to get back into another video talking about things that I like. First and foremost, let's start with a thank you. I thank you for your time, for watching the content that I put out, because I know we're not very large here right now. We have sub 200 subs. I appreciate you all who have subscribed to the channel. I get that I randomly show up in your feed and you give me 15 to 20 seconds of your time, and I am grateful for that. I'm very grateful, very thankful. So, I just wanted to appreciate you and the time you have given me. So, let's set the premise for this video. This is our 1000th video on YouTube. Still crazy that I have that much content for you to enjoy, but it's here and it's going to stay for as long as the platform allows it to stay. So, this video is going to be about games that I liked since 2010, meaning games that were released in the year 2010. Now, you may think, Hanzo, how did you get to this date? Well, hear me out. I've had the channel longer than 2010. That can be confirmed because it's in the bio. Great. However, I'd never really started uploading gaming videos until 2010. So I chose 2010 as a benchmark point to talk about a few games that came out during that time that I enjoyed. These games will range in genre, and they will range in medium, meaning some of them are animated, some of them are first person, there is a racing game in this, and I'll put chapters down below so you can skip a boot if you see fit to doing so. And some of these games are kind of actually locked to their particular console that they came out on, and one of which is kind of technically a lost medium, which I put it at the end, but we'll get there as soon as we get there. So hang out, get your drink, get your snack. It'll be good background noise, because I've been told that is one use of my videos, background noise. But hey, I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments down below if you like anything that is being displayed here. So let's get into it. Games I liked that came out in 2010. Let's start with our first game here. Once we get this transition going. There we go. Okay, good deal. Alright, so this first game, Tatsunoko versus Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. Now, interestingly enough, this game could have been put on yesterday's video because this was produced by Capcom. Check out that video if you like. This particular crossover game is in the same vein as the Marvel vs. Capcom series, but instead of Marvel characters, you incorporated Tatsunoko characters. What I mean by Tatsunoko, that's a Japanese based company entity that puts out anime properties. So the most prolific one, at least in America, is Gatchaman, but they had other types of entities like Karas, for instance, which is on screen there, and they have a few other properties that didn't get much playtime here in the States, but it was still a fun game nonetheless. It was the precursor to the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 gameplay style of light, medium, heavy, and special button attacks. Granted, this is a 2v2 game, so there was one assist per character. I personally like using Dumb Swan and Morgan. They were a fun bunch. But you had characters such as Ryu and Alex from Third Strike making his crossover debut. Batsu from Rival Schools also making his debut. You had about 3 Gatchaman characters, one of which was an unlockable character. And I think the game played well. It looked great. Very comic, very anime style. Big numbers, big damage. And I think this game doesn't get that much credit because it was on the Wii. It came out in the arcade. They had a revision. And then the revision was ported to the Nintendo Wii. There hasn't been a re-release of this game as of yet. People are citing because of licensing issues and things of that nature, but truthfully, they should be able to work that out, right? Like, someone just needs to say, hey guys, we want to re-release this game. What's it gonna take? What do we need to do here? There's gotta be something, right? Any re-release just requires a little pinch of negotiation. Capcom, Tatsunoko, come on you guys. There is money to be made here. People want to play this game. I would like to play this game again. But, alas, we're limited to our resources to do this. So, that again is Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Crossover fighting game. Had a fun intro. Great music. Great stages, great characters. We will be moving on to the next game here momentarily after Morgan makes you feel bad about yourself. So, with our next game here, we're changing speeds a little bit. Aliens versus Predator. Didn't tell y'all. Tatsunoko versus Capcom came out January 2010. Aliens vs. Predator, February 2010. This was a first-person shooter with a pinch of survival horror, because depending on which character you pick, i.e. the Marine, like we're seeing on screen here, it's more survival horror than anything else, because whereas the Marine, who has, in my opinion, the hardest campaign to play, as he doesn't have much armor, his weapons are kind of mid against both aliens and predators. And the aliens hide in the dark. The lighting in this game is awful, so that adds to the flavor of the aliens can see you long before you see them. This game is still playable though. This is the Xbox 360 version you're showing, and that's still currently backwards compatible and purchasable on the Xbox One. I think the last price tag I saw for it was $20, which I guess at the end of the day is not bad, but this game is kind of aged poorly. Because you don't have a map. You see that little thing in the corner there that's kind of pulsing out? That's your motion tracker to tell you what direction an enemy is coming from. And it gives you a distance or whatever, and it gives you like the arrow on top of there is your objective direction. But there are so many things that can attack you as the Marine that makes things different. Now, the alien, I would say, in reverse order, the Predator has the easiest campaign because you're more or less stalking Marines. But you also do fight aliens sometimes. And then the alien is also stalking Marines, but then there is like a couple boss fights against Predators, I think. And then the Marine has no special abilities. Like the alien can walk on any surface, walk through vents. The Predator naturally has their cloak. Look at this facehugger, got me right here. Jump scare for days. Ugh, so scary. And so the Predator has active cloak. They can use like spears and things of that nature, and they can like entice people to appear in sections to kind of stealth kill them. There is a stealth aspect that they can use to take care of the Marines in their way, and then you fight aliens and such. But I still say the Marine has it the worst, considering look how dark this is. I have the flashlight on and I could barely see anything on the ground. You know? If you're in the shadows, you're at a huge disadvantage. And I don't know what... Yeah, I was like, what is up with this thing? Oh, I have to hack it, but then I have to come back from my hack. Whatever. Yeah, so I believe this game right here is a situation where they had a good premise, but it's executed in a way that you have to be, I'll use the word astute. Like, you have to be really in it to try to win it with this game. Because, like I said, look how dark. It's so dark in here. Like, I could have got attacked by an alien by any point right there, and I would have got cooked. So even with the flashlight on, and you get a flare, but the flare is very temporary. That icon above my ammo over there, that's your flare. You can throw the flare out to help you see the aliens, but in reality, they're really difficult to see. And then, oh, here we go. Here's the Predator. He's on top of a roof there. You can barely see him moving around up there, and he has active cloak. And his shoulder cannons do an insane amount of splash damage. So I'm like, yeah, you could realistically run from this fight, but today I felt like, you know what? I'm not running away. I'm not going to let this Predator punk me. I'm not going to let this happen. But overall, I think the campaign's okay. It's really wonky in the sense you can't really mantle on anything because it's an older game. Since it did come out February 2010, sorry. I'm saying 20 too many times. But yeah, February 2010 came out on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. I don't know if this game's available on the PlayStation 4, though. You may want to consider that if you are more PlayStation than Xbox. But I had my fun with it. It was a very difficult game. I don't know if we'll have like a full series on the channel for this. Let me know if you do want to see that, because I'm for you. I'm here for you. So if you want to see the struggle of Alien versus Predator, granted it's not as fun as the arcade game we talked about the other day. That beat 'em up game is fantastic. This, however, fantastic is not the word I would use here. And you can see why. Like, if you can't see what you're doing, but your enemies that are looking at, he's like right there on the tree branch. I barely saw him. Barely saw him. Took a couple shots at him. Doesn't he sound like Godzilla, though? Kind of weird. Anyway. That's Alien vs. Predator. We'll move on to our next game. Alright, our next game pretty much speaks for itself, but we will talk about it. April 2010, Super Street Fighter 4 came out on consoles. It was an update to Street Fighter 4, adding 2 new characters, Hakan and Juri. Of course, the game will be susceptible to 2 more updates past this, adding Yun and Yang, and then in the Ultra Street Fighter 4 days, adding in Hugo, Elena, DeCapre, Oni, which is like an upgraded version of Akuma, and Evil Ryu. People like to argue and say Street Fighter 4 is the best in the franchise. It's up for debate at this point. Anybody who's everybody has their age groups that will say their version of Street Fighter is the best. Unanimously, though, they'll say Street Fighter, the first one where it started, was pretty bad, which I think it's only bad because of 3 things. A, the special moves were hard to do if you didn't know, meaning if you didn't know what we call negative edge. That's why negative edge is still in the game now, because of Street Fighter, the first game. That's how you did your special moves. So you would do your quarter circle forward. You would hold the button for 1. Quarter circle forward for Ryu, because you could use Ryu or Ken. They had the same moves. Didn't really matter. They were just different palettes. Quarter circle forward, and then you let go of the button on forward, and then he'll do the fireball. Or a dragon punch. Forward, down, forward, release the button. There's that. I think if you learn that, it makes it a little easier, but that's another conversation for another day. Don't need to say much more about Super Street Fighter 4. I had my time with it. It's been a good time, and Street Fighter 6 is still going strong. So let's move on to our next game. Our next game here is a racing game that I feel like nobody's talking about. It's called Blur. Now, the thing about Blur is they had a vehicle license, meaning there was actual makes and models in this game. But the caveat with the way this game plays is it's kind of like, for lack of a better word, Mario Kart, but with actual cars. So there are mines, there's bombs you can target people with, There's sniper shots you can take at them. And you're still supposed to complete the race somehow amongst all of this ridiculousness. The races are fun at the end of the day. I think that they have some promise and premise. Like, you can have these matches against people and get their cars. That's kind of fun. And then you're racing on all these crazy roads. All the usual suspects are here. They got the Dodges, they got the Nissans, you got the Corvettes. Dodge, yeah, there's Ford here. Got some Ford pickups, which I find kind of interesting. The car selection is actually kind of fun, to be honest. You don't really see these kind of vehicles. I mean, you see the normal ones, like you'll see the Challenger, you'll see the Viper, you'll see the Camaro. But the Transit Supervan, the old school Ford truck, like, you don't see those kind of vehicles in a racing game, because realistically they're not like cars that are meant for racing. They're just they're utility vehicles, But in any event, this game had its premise, and I think it was fun. I played it to show you, and I was having a blast. I mean, look, it starts out kind of usual, rolling start, okay. And then, we got the view change, and then now you have 3 slots for power-ups. So you don't necessarily have to use your power-up once you get it. So that right there was a shield, which will help you block attacks coming towards you. I activated my shield a little early there as I'm getting my bearings back. The little arrows you may have seen right there, those are sniper shots. The one cool thing about this was it had a photo mode. So you could pause your game mid-game, granted if you weren't online, and take photos of your vehicle. Now, when this game was still actively in use, there were servers that you could upload your photos to, and you can save them and share them on social media. I know I have a couple of them hanging around here. I should have thought about it. I could put it right here. Actually, you know what? I think I might track that down and put it like right here, and then you could see, photo mode in all of its glory. But nonetheless, yeah, you had a few angles you could take. You could change some of the camera settings, and get your vehicle looking right, looking good on the course. And again, I think photo mode is great in any game. I feel photo mode should be incorporated into more things. Like, me and the missus here, honey, we talk about Borderlands 4 a lot in this house because we're a Borderlands house. There's no photo mode as of right now in Borderlands 4, but the scenery is so pretty and so beautiful. You just want to take your character doing things. But hey, we'll see what happens in the near future. So getting back to the race here, yeah, I picked up that mine, dropped it off, and hopefully it'll hit somebody. You get points or fans, quote unquote, if you do things in a race. So if you overtake third, you hit somebody with a mine, or you snipe at them, you'll get points. And there are challenges per race. So the ideology is if you do all the things, you'll be able to get more fans, get more points, and unlock cars and such. That lightning strike is kind of fun too, because it'll set up 3 lightning bolts ahead of everybody. Oh, I ran into that pole there. That wasn't very good. And then it will disorient racers. It's like it fills up the track pretty hard, so getting around the lightning strikes is kind of hard to do. We end up making a comeback here. Get out of my way, car. You can move, and then you guys suck. So I'm just gonna pass like you. I'm gonna nudge you a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you're gonna take out that van for me? Thank you. Okay, so then we pass some more cars, and then now we're grooving. You got the health bar under your rearview mirror there that lets you know how much health you have left. You can repair yourself with the little mechanics wrench, as you saw there. We dropped the mine off. Now we're in 9th place. We're in 4th place now. That was quick, but of course we lost places there. This is a full race. I mean, just the one race. I just want to show you what we can do here. This game is still locked on the Xbox 360. There is no listing for it on any other platform. Ooh, I wrecked that car. Get out of here. Past that truck. Okay. All right. And we're going to get this shot here. Target. We hit anybody? Boom! Hit that guy. All right, now we're in third place. Now let's see if we can hold it here. Granted, our driving is all over the place. And I'm like, wait. Oh, clip that. Oh, no. We're squirreling. Drift barge hit. Yeah, so while you're driving and you do a technique, you get more points for it. Sixth place. Let's see if we can bring it back here. We passed that fourth. Okay. These racing games are kind of tense that way. It's like, you know, I'm driving as fast as I can, as hard as I can, and yet, is it good enough? Is it ever going to be good enough? Oh, I got hit with something there. Oh, no. Back in fifth. Missed the booster there. Could have used that to get back in the race. Got hit by another thing. Now I'm at 3 points of health. Oh, boy, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But then that car has 3 points of health. Can I get around him? Should be able to nudge him out of the way. Yeah, okay. And we got a power up here. Yep. Fire that. Hit that truck. Get out of here. I should be coming up towards the end of this race here. Oh, yeah. There's third. Picked up the shield. And yeah, you just do this and you unlock cars. You have fun with it. The online racing was pretty fun from what I remember. Oh, we passed him. Oh, couldn't get past that guy. Oh, that hurts. Well, we got by him. But our drifting is bad. And we can't recover because he gets by us. And that will ultimately end the race. Second place, not bad. Haven't played the game in a while. So that's been Blur. This was on the Xbox 360. It came out May 2010. Crazy. Let's go on to our next game. Our next game is a fighting game that came out during the latter days of the SNK Play More Time. This came out on console June of 2010. And it is a, for lack of a better word, a crossover game amongst itself. Meaning SNK, kind of like with the KOF series, King of Fighters series, they incorporated all these other characters from various IPs they had. In this instance, it is King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, World Heroes, Samurai Showdown, Athena there in her old fit, World Heroes there, Fuma and Hanzo showing up, Marco from Metal Slug, and then even Aggressors of Dark Combat there with the Squirrel Girl chick, and even Cyber Woo from King of the Monsters 2, which I think we need to play through that, to be honest. That's a game that I kind of want to play. But this here is Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. This game is still playable on the Xbox One platform as backwards compatible. And it is a straightforward fighting game, because back then, during that time, they were trying to capitalize on the crossover games that were popular at the time. I think in, 2010, Marvel 2 was still a thing, which is also on the platform. That came out as a collection. That was like the only way you could play Marvel 2 in a more high-definition setting for a while. But yeah, you got, what we got by the numbers? 6 times 3 times 2, is that 18 plus 18? 36 characters, excluding boss characters. And it's a run-of-the-mill 2v2 game. You can tag out, you can do crossover moves, and you fight in beautiful stages. This game had its moments. There was an arcade release. I know I've seen it in a few arcades over the years, and updated sprites for some of the older characters. So like Terry's looking like his Garo Mark of the Wolves style here. And then Mr. Karate is actually Ryo from Art of Fighting, who took over his father's moniker in the later games. So yeah, standard run-of-the-mill fighting game here. To be fair, to be honest, it's kind of niche, to be realistic with you, because the SNK fighters were not really as popular as the Capcom fighters, but they had some pretty iconic characters on their own, in my opinion. I know I'm a big Art of Fighting guy, and that's the team I would default to in King of Fighters. because they had more usual quarter circle forward movements and moves that actually make sense in the brain. But there are some representation here that isn't being represented in many other games. World Heroes is another conversation that I would like to have about great characters that should be in more modern fighting games, but I'm guessing since a lot of those characters are based on real people, they just don't want the smoke. But this game's not half bad. It's not very balanced per se, but who said you'd be playing a fighting game of this nature for balance? You know, you're just playing it for fun. But I'm here to tell you, this game did suffer from SNK boss syndrome, where the final bosses were reading your inputs, trying to take your money, trying to take your coins, and in turn, they did take your coins. So yeah. Also, this character that I'm playing right now, Moria, is from Last Blade. Now, Last Blade is an SNK fighter that is kind of like Samurai Shodown, another one of their fighters, but it used more like, I would say more traditional or old Chinese style characters. But more like Journey to the West style, I believe. You tell me. You can let me know if I'm right or wrong here. But Neo Geo Battle Coliseum is still available for play on the Xbox One, and we're going to get into our next game. Our next game here is a kind of a cult classic, and they actually just had a re-release. This game originally came out on the Xbox 360 platform, August 2010. This is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game. This is a beat-em-up game with some RPG elements, considering you can beat up people, get money, pay for stuff to update your fighter for speed, for endurance, for power, and in turn go to the storyline of Scott Pilgrim trying to be with Ramona Flowers, but have to fight her 7 evil exes, even though one of them is a woman. I love because it said ex-boyfriends, but then there is still a female character. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. You would have to talk to, I believe his name is Brian O'Malley for that. Okay, so you have your usual characters here. The first 4 characters you could use are Kim, Ramona, Steven Stills, and Scott. You can unlock Nega Scott as a playable character here, as what we'll show here. And then DLC characters were Knives, Chow, and Wallace. They were incorporated. Now, the re-release of this game has all the DLC included, so you'll be able to use all of those characters mentioned. I believe that's a total of, 7 characters, I believe? All of which have different special moves and different abilities. You can actually level up your character to level 15 just outright, but then there's a secret you can find to upgrade your character to level 16 as a sort of over-level thing, which gives them a specific ability that may be a little different. So like for Nega Scott here, we have, he throws a fireball and he does the upward knee attack, which is very reminiscent of Double Dragon 2. So they were not afraid to show a little old school love to games before it. And the soundtrack's done by Anamanaguchi, very well known for their chiptune rock style. Actually, it's a good time. 4-player online. You can beat up your friends or team up to go through the story and level up your characters. You can also give each other money, if in case you're having a hard time getting money, beating all the characters and such. This is just one of the later levels that you fight, because you fight the twins, which in itself is a Double Dragon reference, given the fact that they like to say Billy and Jimmy Lee are the Dragon twins as well. And then I just kind of go through and mop for with them because this is a max level character and this is only on the medium difficulty. But nonetheless, still a good time. Still a good time. Looks great, plays great, sounds great. I suggest you look into it. It's a good time. We can watch this battle unfold here as they're playing some cool music. Kevin and Kyle. Powers being Japanese. Is that racist? I feel like it might be. But in any event, they team up and they do moves together and they attack you in the same. So they actually do a move here that is this move, I think, right here. They team up and do the Hurricane Kick. In Double Dragon 3, if you were Billy and Jimmy as a two-player game and they did a Hurricane Kick at the same time, it would elongate the Hurricane Kick. So that's a reference. But that raising knee lift, Double Dragon 2, all the way around. So as you defeat enemies, you get money from them, and you use that money for health items and getting more experience and getting more power for your character. I personally, even though this version of Scott's kind of cool in terms of the way he plays, very different from normal Scott. I was a Kim fan, to be honest. To be fair, to be honest here. But already, we're done. We're going on to our next game already. I thought I put in more footage, but I didn't. So, the next game here. It goes without saying, but I will say it anyway. Halo Reach came out September 2010. I've already talked about this game. I feel like enough, but I will continue to talk about this game. I've spent an ungodly amount of time playing this game. I know I say that every single time, but I literally, and I kid you not, I used to live in an apartment where I worked like 5 minutes away. And there would be times I would work split shift. So I would open in the morning, go for 4 hours or so, and then leave for 4 hours, and then come back for 4 hours to close the store. I would literally go to work, come back home midday, play Halo Reach for like 2.5 hours, and then go back to work. And then when I get home from work, play Halo Reach for like 3.5 hours. Like, almost every day. And I've met some cool people playing the game during that time. Like, there's a handful of people that will be showing in these clips once I start talking about this a little bit more that I met. And I'm still friends with. And they're cool people doing cool things for themselves. And I wish them the best. Like, hopefully they're all doing well. You know, some of them have families now. Good for them, you know. But again, this was my game. I was towards the end of Halo 3. I was like, yo, Halo Reach is coming out. We're going to do this. Well, looks like it. This is just a theater match where if it changed hosts, it would go to a loading screen. But, of course, that doesn't show that in the theater mode. But, yeah, I played this a lot. We'll have more footage to talk about. Halo Reach, September 2010. And then we're going to be moving on to our final game here after I lose right there. All right. So this final game is famous in the age range of, I would say, if you're in your 30s or older as of 2025, you know this game. You may know these characters that you're seeing on screen. But this here is X-Men, the arcade game. Now, originally, the X-Men arcade game produced by Konami, of all players of the game, they were also the ones who produced the Simpsons arcade game, which also came out on the Xbox platform, and PlayStation 3 for that matter. This one, as this is the Xbox version, came out December of 2010. The original arcade game came out in 1992. And it was based on a pilot episode of the cartoon series X-Men, The Pride of the X-Men. Or actually, it's a comic book that ran, actually. Nonetheless, these characters were based on that pilot episode. So you had a version of this game. 4 players was the standard. They had a deluxe version, which allowed for all 6 playable characters to be played at the same time.
In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aim to destroy the world. Humans could do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men. Go and save the city.
So, this is basic run-of-the-mill beat-em-up game. You have an attack button, you have a jump button, and you have a special power button. This widescreen version was the deluxe version of the game. There is a full-screen version you can also play in this game as a 4-player version, and it allowed for you to play both the US and the Japanese ROM that have played a little differently. Now, that narrator's voice may sound very familiar to you. That's because it's Kyle Hebert, very prolific in the anime scene and the fighting game community, because he was voicing adult Gohan in Dragon Ball and Ryu from Street Fighter. But then also, there were women who were dubbed in this game by Mela Lee. Now, Mela Lee, importantly in our world, is Lifeline from Apex Legends. They had to redub this game, the two of them. Kyle did all the male voices, Mela did all the female voices, and we'll have a little showcase about that here in a little bit. Because originally, apparently due to licensing issues, they couldn't get the original game. And they kept all the campy lines from the original arcade games, such as this.
X-Men, welcome to die!
A very iconic line in the business. And they, like I said, they dubbed all the voices, like right here.
Go and rescue Kitty from the cave.
We will show the original arcade version as a comparison point. But then here is also the section later on when you fight Juggernaut that Mela was involved with the dubbing here.
X-Men, nice job. Magneto is over there. Follow me.
You can totally tell that's Gohan, by the way.
Aha! You fell into our trap.
Yeah, so here we go. This is the arcade version originally. And you can kind of hear the audio differences, but they kept the same energy.
X-Men.
And then we were going to show basically those same spots in the arcade version. This game is no longer available for purchase. You can't buy this game at all. I would say Disney should have a discussion with Konami and let them re-release it. People will play it. People will buy it again. I would buy it again. But who am I? Just one person talking about these things. So yeah, here we go. So a little different on how the console version looks. They changed the menus a little bit. This is the 4-player version that allows you to pick your character.
Storm.
In the 21st century, evil mutants led by Magneto aim to destroy the world. Humans can do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men.
Go and save the city.
And as you can tell, the same energy is there, but it's not really Kyle. But you can hear the voice difference here too.
Nothing moves the blob.
And then again later on.
X-Men. We have been taken by Magneto. However, we had time to locate their base on Island M. Destroy it.
So, I think it was a good time. It really ate a lot of my quarters over the years. And the deluxe version of this game was a six-panel game. Oh, there we go. Famous one.
X-Men, welcome to die.
Yeah, so literally, you could only play as the characters in one slot. Cyclops and Dazzler were on the end, so they're very popular.
Go and rescue Kitty from the cave.
And then you had Colossus, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Storm. I believe Storm was the best character because he had reach. And hear the audio difference here.
X-Men. Nice job. Magneto is over there. Follow me.
Aha, you fell into our trap.
So yeah, all in all, it was a good time. Standard beat 'em up affair. They wanted your money. They got your money. Interestingly enough, the Japanese version was slightly easier than the American version.
Alas, that was Mystique, not Magneto. Magneto is at another place. Go, X-Men.
Point and go.
I am Magneto, Master of Magnet.
Master of Magnet. Yeah, so very dramatic, very 90s, you know, very beat 'em up. So the American version allowed you to continue if you had lives. The Japanese version ended after you beat the game. But they also had energy power-ups that were absent from the American game. There is a discussion in the menus that kind of show that on this version, like the console version of the game. I think it's great. It should come back. Why not, right? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know of other games in 2010 that came out that, you know, you might be interested in if you have interest in those games. And then also let me know how you feel about the games that came out during that time. I know now in the HD age of HDMI-based games, these kind of games are kind of gone by the wayside. But compilations, though, like collection games are coming back. They're making a comeback here. And who's to say it won't come back? Who's to say someone in the R&D team's like, hey, wait a minute. We had a quality product back then. We could re-release that. Or maybe we should do something like that. Like, maybe with Cosmic Rewind, is that like technically a take on trying to make something good again? You let me know down in the comments. And then we have one more piece of video footage here to show, which will be Kyle's version of Magneto. I'm like, they should have him do Magneto more often. Just Gohan. And to say this is for Gohan, you know? Very important. Just beating the daylights off of Magneto. Oh, come on. Really? One more here. Thank you. And that's the end of the game. You just fly off in the Blackbird and you're alive. Magneto's gone. Defeated for now. And you get a text ending. Magneto's defeated. X-Men succeed in rescuing the Professor, return to Earth with a victory. But still, the battle against the threats of evil has just begun. The struggle with X-Men will be continued. So this is the
Alas, that was Mystique, not Magneto. Magneto is in another place. Go, X-Men!
Got the 6-player widescreen.
I am Magneto, Master of Magnet.
So yeah, these have been the games that I liked that came out in 2010. I know it's a little long, but you know these compilation videos can do that sometimes, and I'm not the best editor in the world, so you have to excuse me. That's why it's chaptered, so you can come back to it another time, you know? So again, let me know down in the comments, let me know some of the games that you've enjoyed over the years, and you tell me what you think. I would like to hear your thoughts and your comments. So I'm going to let this rock. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll definitely be back with more content. We're going to keep the party going. As far as it goes right now, we'll keep the upload schedule as is, but if it changes, I'll be sure to let you know, and just keep on watching here. We're going to let this rock. I thank you for watching. Thank you, subs, mods, lurkers, followers. You all rock. Thank you so, so much. And until next time, we may see you tomorrow or next week. Until then, you take care of yourself.